I lost my uncle to Alzheimer's last month, but I lost so much more a few days later. Johnny? What? Who are all these people? This is your family, Uncle Bradley. Johnny? What? I'm scared. Those were the last words my uncle said. I was the only family member that he never forgot. I've always looked up to him, and that's why it's so hard to write this. He never married. He had spent his life helping others when they couldn't help themselves. He was a therapist, and when he wasn't working, he spent his time at various community groups doing his best to leave this world a better place than it was when he inherited it. I'll never forget him saying those words. His influence shaped my worldview. Last summer, I noticed the small changes, but I waved them off. Last November he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. My mother and father passed during COVID, so he was the head of our family. We all sat there while he consoled us about his condition. He was only 63. I wondered why God would let something like that happen to someone like him. The decline was rapid, like a voracious evil was paying him back for all the good he did. 2 months ago, we had to remove him from his home. He could no longer live on his own. His house, once immaculate, was a reflection of what his mind had been reduced to. The smell was horrific. Garbage and half-eaten plates of rotten food were everywhere. Sticky notes on every surface with cryptic reminders of how to function on a daily basis. We all cried as we walked through the 2-story home we all had loved when we were children. He had not allowed any of us into his home for over 4 months. He had even refused a caregiver. We were all silent for a good long while until my brother spoke up. God. You just never know the curveballs that life is going to throw at you. My uncle only lasted at the home for a little more than a month. He slipped away peacefully with all of us by his side. There were so many people at the celebration of life that we couldn't fit them all in down at the community center. So many people spoke about how he touched them. How he improved their lives. 3 days later, we started cleaning the house. So many little yellow notes for so many simple tasks. I finally made my way into the basement. The smell of my uncle's sickness was even stronger. I couldn't tell where it was coming from. At one point, I moved a large bookcase away from the wall and found a door I had never seen. When I opened it, the smell was horrific. It was a large soundproof room. The rotting remains of 3 men were chained to the wall. I remembered one of my uncle's notes that didn't make any sense at the time that I had read it. Don't forget to feed the boys.